If your business needs a new van, ute, or an entire fleet, stop wasting your time with a bunch of red tape at car yards or banks.
Nero Financial specialises in helping Aussie businesses gear up with smart, tailored vehicle solutions.
From tradies needing a new workhorse to companies looking to upgrade or expand their fleet, Nero brokers are the finance pros who understand exactly what you need. They work with over 90 lenders, including banks and specialist commercial lenders, to find options that match your cash flow, business structure, and tax planning, not things that match what they want.
They can even help you source the vehicle, negotiate the price, and handle every bit of paperwork. Get your business moving with the right finance. Call Nero on 1300 025 949 or head to nerofinancial.com.au/paddock43 to get started.
But did I not say it was coming?
When
It was coming.
when I saw this happen, that's all I thought about was Pat going, "It's gonna. I told you it was gonna happen."
I'm Elle and I'm Pat, and we are Paddock 43.
And this is your F1 fix.
Well, I don't know about you, but I actually loved the Canadian Grand Prix weekend. I just felt like there was a lot that happened, and
A lot of sass from George Russell, that's for sure.
but overall, there's something about the Canadian Grand Prix that makes me feel good.
Yeah, I love
I
Canadian
like the
Grand Prix.
track, and I don't know. There's some, like, when it's winter here in Melbourne, and I'm like, I think what I'm saying is I'm not, like, jealous that I'm not in Europe over summer, even though it's warm there and it's summer in Canada. But I just think, like, pancakes, maple syrup, and that's probably the most stereotypical thing. But that's what I did on the weekend.
But that's okay. Like,
Anyway.
it's a stereotype, but it's a stereotype that they're proud of.
Stereotype that I like. Anyway, so thanks for picking me up and getting some coffees for us.
Oh my
because
gosh, no.
Happy
I didn't
Monday!
say Happy Mother's Day. I was like, what? Happy
No.
Monday.
Well, it is Father's Day in the States, but
It was Father's Day, well, in the Northern Hemisphere,
Yeah.
actually. Yes, it was.
in Europe as well, or just
Yeah, in
America?
Europe
Okay.
as well.
So Australia and New
family
Zealand,
chat was going
we're
off.
just not us.
Not us.
But thanks for driving us around today. We're back in a car studio.
We're back in the roving studio, and we are in a Mazda CX-70 GT.
And a very underrated car as
Yes.
that is. I just, like, I was saying to you when I found out that you got this car, I was like, I don't know if it's something that, and this might be like a private school thing. I don't know. I really apologize for that in advance for saying that, but just pre-closure. But I just remember, like, a lot of kids when they were 18 got given Mazdas, CXs,
safe.
or they were like the mum car. That's
Yeah.
kind of what, because it was a safe car, and then I haven't really seen them around. I feel like it's underrated, but it's a great car. It feels good in here.
It does. It feels very good. I was very pleasantly surprised. I mean, Mazda show us our age. We obviously finished school a while ago, but they've done like a big sort of change up to the Mazda and kind of want to make it to the CX range. In particular, 666, 76, 86, 90, which I will be driving a CX 60 in a couple of weeks. But they're just sort of trying to make it like a little bit more luxury. And let me tell you, luxury, it does feel very luxury.
It feels good. Feels nice being in here. I mean, you've packed full to the brim, and
I've got 2 baby seats in here.
and a pram in the background, but
There's
that's
actually
fine.
2 prams in the boot. The boot space is huge in
Jesus.
this as well.
All right. Well,
I have one
You
child,
can
by the
tell
way.
me. You can tell me more about it. But I personally, because I do not have children, I do not need to speak about children and their car seats right now.
No.
What's been happening though? What's
Children, don't say that.
I have children, but they're dog children.
Yeah.
They're different types of children. So what's been happening? What's happening in the F1 world? Talk to me.
Happening in the F1 world. Did you see the Lewis Hamilton Soho House?
Oh my God, House
Paddock,
44.
House 44.
Obsessed.
Do you want to dive into that?
Yeah. So for anyone that didn't see this, I believe this is launching at Silverstone.
Oh, is it?
And
Wait, is it launching this year?
yes.
Okay.
And it will only be at 6 races. So it essentially is like a Soho House pop-up. And it's going to be exclusive on the track. I
And
think
it's
you
like
have
a
to...
collaboration with
Yeah,
Lewis Hamilton.
you have to buy tickets to be in this area. It's very luxe. It's very exclusive. I can't
Which is
imagine
very
they'll be doing
Soho
like a lot of
House,
media invites.
Very
Yeah.
Paddock Club.
Yeah,
all
it's like
kind
it's an extreme Paddock Club, but it is to note that it's not part of the Paddock Club.
Oh.
No. But that's like things that, at the AusGP, there's some amazing hospitality venues, but they're not part of the Paddock Club. Yeah.
This is kind of like where they've got it like on the other side.
Yeah, it could be on the other side of the track.
like
Apparently, it's got great track viewing, but Silverstone's also freaking huge, so they've got the space to do things like that. Yeah. Let this little lady cross. Yes. But yeah, that looks really cool. I would love to check that out. I don't know what the ticket prices are like for something like that, but I imagine they would be astronomical. Yes. Speaking of astronomical people that could afford that, Lance Stroll.
Oh God, Lance
He's
Stroll.
still existing in Canada.
He sucks.
His
attitude this weekend, like, I'm sorry. I don't know if you saw, like, at the beginning of the weekend, he was in a press conference, and he's just sitting like...
Oh, he just doesn't care. Yeah.
Does not care. Sitting back, like, he literally... Like, all that's missing is him rolling his eyes. Like, he's basically rolling his eyes without rolling his eyes. And they were asking him about his wrist, which obviously we spoke about last week, how we weren't sure if he was going to... I was about to say before, if he was going to race. If he was going to race, if he wasn't going to race, what was going to happen. And it was confirmed that he was going to race. And, you know, his wrist injury, he was asked about his wrist injury. He didn't really say anything and was like, yeah, like, I can keep this private. And God, he sucks. I'm like, he obviously doesn't want to be there. Like, he does not want to be there. You're at your home race. Like, have some respect, even just for yourself. Like, have some self-respect.
Well, he got a 10-second grid penalty.
Oh, true.
So I think some of that respect is definitely, you know, you get dished what you get served. You get served what you did. You get served. You get served what you dish. I don't know. You know what that saying is. Yeah. Other than that, there wasn't a whole lot going on in the news world. So we might just like leave the news there because fairly quiet for, you know, even a place that had a bit of a break. All like I would say is George Russell. There's a lot of talk about his contract. And I think after this weekend, just because his contract ends this year. So it's, you know, if he's going to re-sign, blah, blah, blah. And look, I think he will.
There are so many rumors flying around with like drivers, team principals, like contracts running out. What's going to happen? I don't know. I'm in two minds about it.
I think George will stay. I think he's in prime position. I think he knows that he's going to stay there. I think Mercedes are easily going to renew that bad boy.
Yeah.
And then there was also talks about Charles Leclerc. Like, is it time he leaves Ferrari? He's been there for 7 years. What has Ferrari done for him? And what is he doing for Ferrari? It's kind of like, is it time? Where would he go? I don't know. So that's probably the only like news that I've been seeing. So maybe we just dive into the social corner, unless you've got anything.
Well, I was going to say as well, there's also been, and I think this kind of blends a little bit into social corner, but yeah, there has been a lot of, Lewis Hamilton had to come out this weekend and be like, no, because a lot of fans are saying like, you know, what's Ferrari done for Lewis and he's going to be gone. He's like, no.
Fans and us. We also said something like that. We were like, surely Lewis is going to be done with Ferrari after this year. But then Lewis is like, what? Yeah, he is saying no.
He's like, I intend on being here for a long time. And
yeah, shut up and listen. We've still got a lot of work to do.
Right. Yeah. So I don't think he's going anywhere really. I think he'll be finishing up his career. So there was those rumblings, and then there was also
very quick intermission. We just needed to pull over.
Yeah, I needed to pull over.
Yes. So you were telling me something about Fred Vasseur.
Okay. So I read this the other day. The name has slipped me, but so Frederick Vasseur is obviously team principal for Ferrari F1. Now there are rumors circulating that apparently Frederick Vasseur, which I really hope not, is going to depart as F1 Ferrari team principal, and the man who is the team principal for Ferrari Le Mans team is going to take that position. And apparently, before Frederick Vasseur got this position with the F1 team, that position was actually offered to the Ferrari Le Mans team principal.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know. Rumours, though. But I do hope... I don't think it's...
So they're thinking about doing a full swap of team principals then?
Yeah, potentially. Well, actually, I don't even know if Frederick Vasseur would go over to Le Mans team, but maybe. And then there's
I think if you get fired from one team principal job, you got to take any job you can get. But that's one race a year.
Yeah. So Who knows? And on the topic of team principals as well, there were 2 other rumours that were kind of circulating this weekend. I mean, obviously, one, Christian Horner, we always see that rumour circulating about whether he is going to leave Red Bull, and then potentially would Max Verstappen go with him as well once his contract is up. We always speak about this, whether that's going to happen. But then the other thing was whether James Vowles and Fernando Alonso will reunite at Alpine.
Oh.
Yeah, I read that somewhere and I was like,
Nah,
huh.
I'm
Huh.
putting a needle in that one. That is not happening.
Well, you know something about
that
Fernando
is
Alonso.
not happening. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No.
Well, Fernando Alonso, I was looking at the driver, like the driver's tally this week. He's second last.
Yeah, no, he's not doing great. He's in Aston
All the
Martin.
rookies are beating him.
No, yeah,
except
but
for like Franco Colapinto. It was like Franco Colapinto and Jack Doohan and then Fernando.
yeah, but he's not going to go to Alpine. Well,
Hope
look,
not.
okay. Sorry, Fernando Alonso could move. James Vowles is not moving. He is at Williams for the long haul. Look what he has done for Williams recently. Look, Williams practice excellent this weekend. Quali, not so great moments. I mean, Alex Albon's engine cover just went pew and flew off.
I
and then,
looked down and looked up and it was gone. I was like, wait. I had to rewind. I was like,
oh
what
yeah, I
happened?
watched that replay a million times.
What
so.
happened? And you know the funniest thing as well? There was like all these clips of the car in the garage and they're trying to fix it. And so they're filming from the front and like you can see Alex's face in the car and all this like ruckus going on behind. They're trying to like, and then you see a guy like pass over this big roll of duct tape. It's like,
Yeah, no, they tape it. They were like,
okay.
it's
and they had
an
to say,
engine cover
and
is
just to let you know, they are drilled in. We do see the duct tape, but they are drilled in. It's,
no, but it's mostly tape, which is what's holding it down.
yeah.
And they're like, sometimes it's double-sided tape, sometimes it's not.
What do you think, marketing brain? Good publicity or bad publicity for Duracell when you see like half the Duracell batteries flapping?
Awful.
Really? But then I'm like, does it give eyes to Duracell as a sponsor? And then the Atlassian
Oh,
on
look,
the back.
it definitely does. But I was more thinking about, oh my God, look, the exposed engine cover. Like, is everyone like quickly, like all the
Yeah.
other teams, like, quick, snap.
Yeah,
Like, what have they got underneath there? What's in the body of the car and all that sort of stuff? Which I'm sure that's what they were freaking out about of doing that. But
Get the
then,
car in.
yeah, look, we'll have to get in all of that when we discuss the race. But was there anything else that you want to chat about for the social corner?
Well, I guess on the topic of not really social corner, but I do think as we sort of delve into race weekend, F1 Academy this weekend.
Yes.
Lots of cute little moments popped up, but there was a moment where Dorian Pin and George Russell were sitting down and he was like giving her all these pointers and all these
I
tips,
saw
and
that.
I was like, that was such a lovely moment.
Some of the guys have been quite good this weekend lately. I don't know what's happened, but we're seeing it a lot more. Also, the media side of things. Lewis Hamilton was definitely there, like celebrating, but we have always known that he's been like a number one figure in celebrating the F1 Academy girls. New sponsor came on with F1 Academy, Weller Hair. And then they actually are also sponsoring Joanne Seconti, our Aussie girl, which is awesome.
There's our
So they've come
gal.
on in like twofold capacity. But there's been a lot of crap about F1 Academy online. And
What did you read?
just that like people have been like, it's not F1, like it's shit, it's slow. Guys, it is not F1.
Yeah, we know that it's not F1.
It's not F1. It's not even F2 or F3. These girls are in an academy. Like 99% of them have not raced single-seaters before in this sort of style or capacity. They're given an opportunity to do this, to then get into other elements and levels of the sport. So people need to remember that. I don't know. It's kind of been bothering me because a lot of people go, why didn't you watch F1 Academy this weekend? And I'm like, well, I didn't have time and, got to focus on other things. But also, it's not like I'm not comparing Joanne Seconti to Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Completely different styles of people, ages, experience, and what Joanne is doing in F1 Academy, what Ava's doing in F1 Academy, because we're going to talk about our Aussie girls. They're doing so well and they are learning.
They're learning
and that's
so
what
much.
this is for.
Yeah. They're learning and they're getting a taste of the circuits. They're getting a taste of like working with the teams. And that's exactly what we need and what we want. And they are making their mark and cementing themselves and getting that experience that maybe previously they wouldn't have had, to then aim and hopefully make it one day into F1. There's just like steps and they're getting there. So, but it was nice to see them, and congratulations to Chloe Chambers, who won. I saw this clip somewhere where they were saying like, what a moment for an American woman, and like everything that's going on in the US right now, and just like listening to the American anthem. And yeah.
So you know how we discussed going to the Austin Grand Prix? Do you still want to go? So full context for anyone listening.
I pulled a face for those that didn't.
We've been obviously discussing going. I just would be like, you know, I want to go for the fanfare and to see it, but also like part of me is scared of getting detained.
I know, same.
I just keep hearing about people getting detained. If they think that you're working, boom, you're gone.
I know.
Like,
I know. At the same time, I'm like, do I have anything incriminating on my phone? No. But
yeah. It's I don't know.
scary.
Isn't that like that? And surely that's a danger territory for Austin and Las Vegas. I mean,
Yeah.
that's going to be interesting for them to get around. Obviously, they've got the capacity for the American audience to come, but you want that international fanfare as well. You want the tickets sold. Las Vegas is still going hard on their ticket sales.
Yeah. I know, it's crazy because it's such a strange thing to think about, because I feel like I've been to the US so many times and never even been scared. Like, it's not like we're going to a dangerous country. But anyway, well, it's kind of dangerous right now in some parts. But anyway,
interesting. We should move on to the race.
We should move on to the race.
For all the best adventures around Australia, head to adrenaline.com.au. Their mission, helping Aussies find and try fun to do. Yeah. Sorry, we had to beep that one out there. We're talking V8 driving experiences, rally cars, F1 style rides, skydiving, jet skis, you name it, we're trying it. There are over 2,500 experiences to choose from, and we're having a hard time picking what we're going to do next.
We're seriously pumped to be partnering with Adrenaline to show you all the epic stuff you could be doing with your weekends. So what are you waiting for? Go find your next adventure at adrenaline.com.au. Make sure you use the code PADDOCK10 for 10% off your next adventure.
The race. All right, so we've got to discuss the race or the highlights from the weekend, which is what we're here to do. So it was obviously like a very mixed starting grid from the get-go. There was a lot of little penalties, but one of those penalties allowed Franco Colapinto to start on the top 10, which I thought was kind of exciting. So that was from Isaac Hajar. We saw Yuki drop right down. Liam Lawson had multiple changes to his car, so he got a 50-place grid penalty.
That's insane. That's probably like the biggest grid penalty we've seen in a very, 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 very long time.
I know.
50 places. Sorry, what?
So he's starting from the pit lane for the next few races. I think that's what's going to happen. Because they were like, there's no place 68th for him to start from, so he's going to have to start from the pit lane. I was like, duh, there's no 68th place like for him to start from. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Insane.
That doesn't even make sense. So that was like the interesting part to get go from. And then started with practice. We spoke about it before. Williams was just off to a flying start and everyone was like, whoa!
And then their car parts went flying.
Oh yeah, car parts went flying. And then they were not flying during the race. I mean, Alex Albon had to retire. To be fair.
Was that his second or third DNF? This year?
I've lost count. He's actually had quite a few. Lewis Hamilton didn't nearly. He maybe nearly DNF'd.
Yeah.
Like, he could have. So
watching the McLaren overtake the Ferrari, I was like, there's no comparison with the speed on the McLaren compared to the
Lewis
Ferrari.
had damage to his car.
Yeah.
He hit a groundhog.
Oh my gosh, I know.
He didn't know.
So sad.
He didn't know, and that's where he's damaged for his car.
I know, I can't think about that too much because it makes me sad.
And he was like, he said he's so glad that no one told him because he cares so much about animals.
I know.
They've got to.
They have to do
something about that. They can't have the groundhogs.
But it's the same as like birds and.
Yeah, but
what do they do at Albert Park to get rid of the
birds? Fucking fly away.
Yeah, true. Birds
fly away, but groundhogs are on the ground. Clearly, in the name, they're crawling, walking. Like they can't just, dart off quickly. They don't know any difference. I don't know what they're gonna do.
I can't think about it too much.
But it's something. It's quite dangerous.
It is.
It's like with the lizards as well.
The lizards. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I did. Yeah. Sad. I was gonna say though, George Russell pole position.
Pole position, he actually earned that pole position.
He did it. I know there was so much commentary on like, and he's actually earned this. Also, I was gonna say, just I love how sassy George Russell is getting. Don't you think you who you think is so media trained, don't you think that he's like breaking away from that a little bit and being
No, I think he's so media trained and he thinks that he's the biggest thing in the world. And the only line that I liked was, well, I've got some more points to play with. I was like, wow, mic drop. Because purely,
I love the crowd as well. It wasn't like, when you hear a crowd go, yeah, or like, oh, it was just like a bit of a, oh.
So for anyone that didn't know what happened there, during qualifying, Max got the flying lap. And at the very last millisecond, George Russell just took it and he took pole position. And it was very exciting because everyone was like, what is going to happen in turn 1 on the race? Because of what had happened in Spain where Max crashed into George. A lot of Max fans were worried, being like, he's got one more penalty point to use or he gets a race ban.
Which we did discuss in last
episode. So that's like where everyone's at. And they're like, something is going to happen now in turn 1. And it didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, the most interesting and greatest thing that happened in turn 1 was watching Kimi Antonelli go. And
I know.
He performed so well. But it was to the point that, like, so George obviously made some sassy comments. But in the cool down room afterwards, they were so chill, George and Max. They were just chatting. And it was like Kimi's like first time in there and he was just like silent. He was just like sipping his like non-disclosed Red Bull because it had a white piece of paper around it, and I was like, that's clearly a Red Bull.
But don't you think interesting though, because they were like quite civil, but then Red Bull puts in a claim to say like George, like to what's the word?
Yeah, so what
contest?
Yeah, so there was obviously
George's
the safety car.
Yeah.
At lap 66, I believe. So 4 laps to go between the crash because of Oscar and Lando. Because Lando made a pretty dumb error of judgment. And then, there was that safety car and Max accused George of erratically driving and braking and to cause like a crash or like stop Max from flying straight off as soon as the safety car was gone.
It's funny how Red Bull is so
through.
like,
that was
we
rejected.
contest this, and it's just come through that it was rejected.
They reject they contest everything. They always give it a go.
I saw someone
They're
post
that team that gives it a go.
I saw someone post something on TikTok of like, and it was a really good analogy. Like George and Max in the cool down room looked like two parents just having to like get along for their child.
Oh my god, look like divorced parents trying to get along with their child.
Like, let's just let Kimi enjoy this happy moment. Like, let's get along.
No, it's like they were waiting for parent teacher interviews.
Yeah.
Divorced parents waiting for parent teacher interviews. Yeah. That was George, Max, and Kimi. Exactly that.
Congratulations, Kimi, first podium.
Oh, and driver of the day, and it was so well deserved.
So well deserved.
He raced so well and consistently,
especially off the back of like
amazing.
A double DNF weekend, like 2 DNF weekends.
Yeah, I think Kimi just did an exceptional race. He managed those tyres well. All throughout that race, the drivers were like, we're in charge.
Yeah.
We saw, like so many of them were speaking to their team engineers being like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? I want to do this. I want to do this. And everyone was just like, chill. This is what we're going to do. Because a lot of them had to do 2 pit stop strategies because they went and swapped hards. And you can't have the same compound twice. So a lot of them were really pissed off about that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's funny because I quite like Canada as a circuit, and
it's a great circuit. I fucking love it. I think it's great.
The Danica and Nico Rosberg interactions this weekend. Did you hear the comment that was made?
So wait, which one? Because I saw a few Danica ones that, like, a lot of people, like Martin Brundle, one of them, he was caught rolling his eyes, saying next to her. I was like,
So apparently Danica Patrick said something about, like, it's quite an easy circuit.
Yes, this is where Martin Brundle rolled his eyes.
No, and then Nico Rosberg was like, actually, it's not. Yeah. And he bit back.
Yeah, so that's where Martin Brundle was rolling his eyes, and it was all caught on camera.
Gosh, you know what? It's one of those things where it's like, we've seen like Jensen Button have issues as well, where he like kind of bites back. Like they clearly all can't stand her.
No, No.
I don't
Then-
understand how they still have her as a correspondent, like the North America correspondent, because she's not.
No, everyone doesn't
No one
like
likes
her.
her.
No one likes her.
Yeah.
It's for no one likes her commentary. It's for that particular fan base in America that they need to attract, which is probably that Trump crowd.
Yeah.
Like there was that rumor floating around all week that Trump was going to be jumping in a McLaren F1 car
What?
later in the week.
An F1 car, he won't fit.
Yeah, Zach Brown had to come out and be like, "No, he is not." No, wait, that's not. That's more of a Trump voice. But anyway, yeah, he's not. It was a rumor.
Right.
Like, I think they just have to appeal to that audience, and they're such a political country that they actually have to think about that stuff.
Yeah. Interesting.
More so than what we do here in Australia, which we're really lucky that we don't have to do. Go as far as an extreme as that.
We can't talk about this race without me. I mean, I don't want to say I told you so, but did I not say it was coming?
When
It was coming.
I saw this happen, that's all I thought about was Pat going, "It's gonna. I told you it was gonna happen. They're gonna get angry."
It's happened. It has happened.
It's finally happened, but I don't think it came from anger and
Wait,
even.
so what are we talking about?
Yeah, so obviously, we've kind of already touched on this, right? So going back, I mentioned the Oscar and Lando crash and how Lando said it wasn't his fault and all that sort of stuff around lap 66. So it was 4 laps to go. There was an epic battle fighting for the 4th position between Lando and Oscar. Excellent driving between the two of them. A lot of like, who's on the inside, who's on the outside, coming in. Really, really great. But then they're going down the main straight and Lando just completely misjudged. Like, he thought he could go to the left and take over Oscar on the left, but there was no room. Like, he had 3 car lengths pretty much on the right side. So it was just really bad driving by him. And he clipped the wall and his
And he clipped the back of Oscar as well on his front wing.
Yeah, his front wing clipped the back of Oscar's tire. And Oscar was completely fine. Oscar was able to get that 4th position and kept going. But obviously Lando, he was out. He fucked his wheel axle on the side of the wall, and it literally happened right in front of the McLaren garage as well. Lando jumped on the radio straight away and was like, "That was completely my fault, misjudgment." So, and then the whole team has come out as well and said, "Look, this is just bad driving. It wasn't anything to do with them getting angry at each other." And even Oscar said that as well.
Yeah.
Oscar's like, "No, there's no bad blood. Like, it was just he made a judgment error, and we all do that."
But also easy for Oscar to say that because he came out unharmed. He
Yeah,
kept
he
his
is.
position.
But also,
like-
I mean, that jeopardizes Lando a lot for that world championship.
it jeopardizes the team for
Points?
constructors as well.
Yeah, it does, but not as much as it does for world championship
Yeah,
position
yeah.
between Oscar and Lando, because
course.
that's just bumped Lando right down. Oscar was already a little bit nervous starting P3. He said he was happy with that,
Yeah.
but he was like, but considering this year, like, it's surprising for me to say I'm happy for P3. You know, he knows he should be P2 or P1. People, obviously, he wants to be in pole position.
Yeah.
So I don't think there was any bad blood, but
No.
you did say that something was going to happen. I
Well,
think
it's
it's
funny-
just like Oscar didn't have I'm sorry, not Oscar. Lando didn't have a great weekend during quali. He was really bad. Practice, he was really bad. Like, how his race engineers were talking to him was like he was go-karting and that he was needing to learn how to drive again.
Well, I was going to say, I know that you said that the drivers took charge during the race. I think that was a moment where Lando's race engineer was like, "Go on, like, you can overtake him. You're good. You can overtake him." And then
Yeah, and then Lando just did it in the worst possible
way.
spot. Like, why would you do it there?
But I
don't
think
know.
it's good that, like, Lando straight away was like, "I fucked up." It wasn't like, "What did he do?"
No.
Like, he knew he fucked up. So, and that just shows. I'm not going to say it.
So yeah, it wasn't excellent for the team.
No, not great for the team, but at least Oscar came out unscathed. Hey, do you have any random facts of the week?
Ooh, I had a couple actually. I think my first one was definitely Lewis Hamilton driving over the ground hold, because
That's not random. That's sad.
it's not random, but I've already spoken about that.
Yeah.
But my other one would be Nico Rosberg. He's done it again. The power of the selfie
Oh.
has done it again.
Stop. I know.
So he's taken a selfie on the straight and the exact spot where Lando crashed.
No, wait. Okay, sorry. Give the listeners context if they don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so Nico Rosberg is known for taking selfies when he is commentating at the track. And wherever he takes a selfie, something bad happens, and it might be in front of someone's garage. It's happened multiple times to Lewis Hamilton. It happened to Max Verstappen at OzGP. He took a photo in front of Max's garage at the OzGP in 2024, and then Max DNF'd. Like, it's weird things like that, and a lot of people go, "Oh, it's just a coincidence," but it's just a funny coincidence.
Is it a coincidence?
So this race's selfie was in the exact spot where Lando crashed. And he's done a thing now as well. So because it's become such a big thing online, Nico actually won't take photos in front of drivers' garages anymore because he doesn't want to be part of the superstition.
Yeah.
So
Rightfully so, because people like come for him as well.
But now he's taking photos on the streets. And that's where
it was literally, there's like a photo of him, the selfie he took, and then underneath there's the Oscar and Lando crash. And it's literally in the exact same, like right behind him.
Oh, so funny.
Yeah,
what about
great.
you?
I was going to say it was funny. So Lando Norris's dad, I saw this photo of him getting picked up at Canada Airport.
Yeah.
And he got picked up by the Aston Martin medical car.
Oh.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Sorry. As in the medical car for the weekend. You know, the Aston Martin. It's like an Aston Martin. Yeah, he got picked up by that. At the airport.
Random.
So random. Like, you would think he'd get picked up in a McLaren, maybe?
Yeah.
Or, yeah, a different car. But yes, so he got picked up in the medical car, which is nice. That would have been one of those things where it's like, oh shit, Dad needs to get picked up. Oh yeah, Mr. Norris needs to get picked up. Okay, what can we do? Can we send the medical car? Yep, the medical car.
Shit, I forgot I've got to pick up Dad. Oh, that's so funny. That's so random as well. Green flag, red flags of the week.
Oh, can you start?
Okay, I can start. So, green flag of the last week. I'm going to say little career moments for me. Usually I do talk about work and it's just been really busy, but oh my God, wait, change my green flag.
I literally was about to say that's my green flag. A man has just walked past with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dogs.
And his dog walking in there all so cute.
Oh,
I want to be part of that.
Same.
But no, green flag. I mean, I did some nice things with Tom this weekend, so that was really nice. But also I had my first car presenting gig, official presenting gig come out.
Is it out?
No, not out.
Okay.
So I shouldn't say it's out, but I saw the clips and I showed you some of them. So it's really exciting. And then directly off the back of that, before it's even out, I booked more. So I've got some more of them coming out, which is really exciting because I feel like I've been trying to get things like that for quite some time and for it to pay off. So it's really exciting. And then we had Tom's birthday also, but my red flag from that then would be being so fucking hungover yesterday from his birthday. Yeah. Self-inflicted. What about you?
Well, I'll start with my red flag. My red flag, I've just not felt 100% mentally. I did have a cry as I got into the car. It's just very busy, lots going on. But that's all right. You know, I mean, we do talk about our mental health at times, and I think it's good to speak about. I'm okay. I've definitely had worse times in my life, but it just felt a bit crap. And my green flag, actually the other thing as well is Gabriel is sick for the first time in his life.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he hasn't got a fever or anything, but just a bit of he's really blocked
the
up.
rest of Melbourne,
the rest of Melbourne, and I'm like, no, I don't want you to get sick, but a year of protecting him is pretty good, but it's sad and he can't breathe, and I'm like, I just want you to learn how to blow your nose, because they don't know, so you have to use this thing to get it out. It's anyway. You don't think about that.
No, I don't want to think about that right
and
now.
nothing better than blowing your nose. But my green flag, yesterday I had a movie premiere. It was a Disney movie called Elio. You were supposed to come, but you were hungover for Tom's birthday. But our friend Kat came with us.
Correction. I wasn't hungover for the movie. I couldn't go because it was his birthday.
Yeah. You couldn't go because you were like, actually, it's Tom's birthday. I can't go to that. And then
I can't ditch him on his birthday, and then he ended up being asleep on his birthday the whole fucking day. So I sat there on the couch being like,
that's the worst. Yeah, I ditched a movie premiere for this. No, it was really good. If anyone loves Disney as much as I do, highly recommend. I cried so much. I was literally going. Actually, though, I should mention, I didn't tell you this. Special shout out to one of our listeners. I'm so sorry, I've forgotten your name. We're walking to the cinema and a girl came up to me. She's like,
hey, I wanted to let you know I love the pod. I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you. Like, thank you so much. She's like, been listening. So, hello. I'm so sorry. I've forgotten your name.
Oh my God, Pat.
But she used to work with you at Sukin.
Who?
And it's slipped my mind.
Talia?
I don't know. She has a little 3-year-old boy. So cute. And she was like, I think she was saying, yeah, like, bringing him to the cinema. Hopefully he does okay. But anyway, so hello to you. And I love when people come up to us. I'm sorry. I was also like, we're getting in the cinema. I was kind of like, do we sit here? Do we not sit here? I was also mindful that I'm like, where is my popcorn on my seat? But anyway. So yeah, that was
The important things.
The important things. But yeah, that was my green flag. And this week coming up, we've got some exciting things. We actually didn't mention as well, we've got some sponsors, which is exciting.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God. That should have been our green flag. Guys, we have sponsors.
Yeah, we have sponsors.
We have sponsors. And you may have heard them in the ads. And yeah, it's been like just a long time coming for us. And also, I know ads can be annoying, but you know, now that this is going to be happening, we're going to be producing better content for you guys. We're going to get better mics. We're going to get better cameras.
Yes.
We're going to be in the studio more often.
Yes.
We're going to get better access to cars. There's so many things that we're going to be able to do, which will elevate everything, which is just so exciting. And also there's things for you guys.
Yes. But yeah, so we have partnered with Nero Financial. So they are a financial business based in Melbourne, and they do some really cool car financing. So if you know someone that needs to get financing done, or even, I mean, you can listen all about it. We'll talk all about it in our ads. But basically, if you need to get a new car, they do all the hard work for you. No knock to your credit score. Yeah, if you're in the market, I think it's a fantastic.
They're the people to speak to. And then our other sponsor is Adrenaline. They do adrenaline adventures all around Australia, and there's some really cool ones. So our first one was a horse riding one, and we had a lot of fun doing that.
We did.
It was like a wine tasting as well.
Yes.
So if you head to our Instagram, there is some little deals there for you. And there's also a competition that we're running at the moment with Nero Financial. So you could win a KU membership.
And also, if you do want to book an adventure with Adrenaline, use the discount code Paddock10 to get 10% off.
Yeah, it's all going to be in our little bios now moving forward. And yeah.
But yeah, I think that's all we got time for now. We'll be back in your ears next week.
And we're going to the F1 premiere this weekend.
And we've got the F1 movie premiere this week.
Which is
that's
very
exciting. Yes. Thanks for listening, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
I know if I ever see the light, I'll be up in the club and so